Welcome to the Myrtle Beach Aware Coastal Cast, your dedicated source for all things weather along the Grand Strand. Stay up to date with the latest forecasts, storm updates, and weather trends that impact the Myrtle Beach area. Whether you're planning a day or preparing for a storm, the Coastal Cast keeps you informed and ready for whatever the weather brings. Stay tuned as this week's Coastal Cast starts right now. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this special Christmas edition of the Coastal Cast Live. We are only a couple days away from Christmas here, and the excitement is building, especially for the kids, as they are ready to see if they were naughty or nice. So we're ready to see if we get some presents or some big bags of coal or whatever may come for them. They are ready, and I hope that you are too, and you're finalizing any plans that you have for preparations for Christmas. So far, our Christmas day is looking pretty decent. High pressure is going to build in and give us a pretty beautiful day. Not real warm, but that's all we can ask for, is at least we have the sunshine. Not a white Christmas by any means. Sorry, folks, for those of you wishing and dreaming and hoping for a white Christmas. You may have an opportunity for that if you are heading and traveling to the Northeast. There may be a slight chance that you may have some snow on the ground for Christmas, but it's not going to happen here along the Grand Strand or pretty much anywhere else for that matter, unless you live in the higher elevations of the mountains. So what we're talking about today is we're going to be talking about some warming trends. We've got a massive trough that is looking to bring the possibility for some severe weather to the Dixie Alley area. We've got Texas, Oklahoma, parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, all could experience some severe weather as the week progresses past Christmas. Now, it's still a little ways out, but we're starting to see some of the model guidance come together on that. Still pretty inconclusive on what exactly is going to happen. We do know that a very powerful trough of low pressure is going to be working its way through that area, which is going to bring the possibility for that severe condition. So we'll kind of get into that. I know we're not in Texas, but we do have a lot of people that will be traveling for the holidays. So we want to keep you aware of what's going on around the country. As always, before we get too far into this, I want to talk about the Skywarn Storm Spotter program. We are accepting members with Myrtle Beach Aware. If you are interested in becoming a Skywarn Storm Spotter, please feel free to reach out to us, and we will link you up with the National Weather Service in Wilmington or in Charleston for their Skywarn Storm Spotter training. Highly recommend it, even if you're not interested in partnering with Myrtle Beach Aware. We are still here to help guide you in the right direction and get you trained and certified to become a storm spotter and help the National Weather Service collect some of that real-time data in the field. Our eyes help them drastically rather than just hoping and wishing for good, high-quality radar information. We can give them what exactly is happening as the eyes are seeing it and as it's occurring in the field. So interested in becoming a storm spotter, please feel free to reach out to us, message us, and I'll hook you up and get you on your way and ready to rock and roll with that. So today, we're going to hop right on in to today's Coastal Cast episode. As you can see, Not a whole lot going on around the country right now. We do have some winter storm advisories up in parts of Montana into the North Dakota area. Some high wind warnings across the country in certain little areas. I think there are probably some higher elevations. And but altogether, not a whole lot going on currently right now. That is about to change as this trough wants to dip down from Canada and eject out into the Midwest as the week goes on, and bring the potential for some severe weather. Behind that, much cooler air kind of for certain parts for a little while, and then another low pressure system is going to be working its way through a dry system, and we look to see that increase, that trend upward in temperatures. Not talking about a big giant heat wave, but we will see a trend in warmer temperatures even in our area as well. So let's dive right in on this here, if I can get the right stuff up. This is going to be our, as always, the 6 to 10 day temperature probability outlook. This actually begins the 27th, I believe, is what, let me pull this up. So this is going to be valid Friday the 27th through Tuesday the 31st. So trending a little bit warmer, a little bit above normal for most and all of the country, actually. Really focusing on this center portion of the United States, very, very high above normal, which is helping to fuel that trough and that severe weather potential for portions of Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi later on in the week. So we're going to be starting to follow that about Thursday night into Friday. So the 26th, 27th, 28th, and even into the 29th, there's some possibility of that trough still sticking around. So overall, for 6 to 10 day temperature probability outlook, we are above normal. As far as precipitation goes, averaging and trending kind of above normal as we look through towards the end of the month and into New Year's. So a lot going on as far as the weather goes here. The 8 to 14 day, this is valid the 29th through the 4th. The 29th through Saturday the 4th. This is looking above normal again. Probably this is kind of showing me maybe a little bit cooler than what we're going to be looking at over the next 7 to 10 days, but a little bit warmer. As far as precipitation goes, the 8 to 14 days is going to be showing us pretty much around normal for this area, below normal as always out there in Nevada, Southern California, Arizona, as they kind of get under the influence of that Pacific high this time of year, creating that very dry temperatures or dry precipitation for them. And parts of the Northeast, they're going to be trending a little bit above normal. Not a whole lot going on there. This trough that's coming down into Texas could eject and become a winter storm for the Northeast, but the probability is pretty low right now as far as forecast model guidance. Not a whole lot of agreement in that scenario as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. This here is the 72-hour snowfall accumulation. This is over the past 72 hours. For those of you wishing for a white Christmas and to have some snow on the ground, these are the places you should go. Like I said, the Northeast, depending on how far north you go. The mountains of West Virginia have some fresh snow on the ground. Different parts of West Virginia, there are parts of, I know, even down into Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where my family's from, and up into the mountains of Pennsylvania, there was some snow yesterday, and I think, or Friday or yesterday, they had some snow. So chances of that sticking around until Christmas Day probably slim to none. But your chances kind of increase as you get up into the Northeast a little bit further, up into Michigan, Wisconsin, the Dakotas, North Dakota, South Dakota, the mountains of Oregon, California, Washington. those areas looking to be the places to go if you want to see a white Christmas, even in Idaho, Montana. So if you want to see a white Christmas, those are your places to go. So snap a screenshot of that map and catch your flight, because Christmas is only a couple days away. As we start getting into the maximum temperature today, we're looking, this is day 1, 48. I think we're right around 46 right now for the day. So 48 is going to be Charleston area. So we're right on target where we should be trending for today. As far as the minimum temperatures overnight tonight, it's going to be a very chilly one. Lows in the 20s, probably around 26, 25, 26 degrees tonight overnight. Tomorrow, maximum temperatures for Monday, we're going to be looking at a high of 51. So a very similar scenario as to what we were dealing with today, just maybe slightly warmer as we go through the day tomorrow. Day 2 minimum, so tomorrow night's overnight lows, we're going to be down into the 30s, not near as cold as what we're dealing with tonight into tomorrow. So we're seeing that little bit of a warming trend as we kind of go through the overnight hours. As we get into Tuesday for Christmas Eve, high of 56. So we're going to be right around that 60-degree mark for Tuesday for Christmas Eve. And Christmas Eve into Christmas morning, lows in the 40s, high 30s, low 40s for the area. So Santa doesn't have to dress quite as warm. So when he's out there delivering presents in the South, he likes to come down here and take his jacket off and get some nice warm temps. But we're going to be a little bit closer to the 30s than probably what he would like to have. So let's move on to the front map for the country. This is what's going on. You can kind of see that trough building over New Mexico, Texas, wanting to start working its way through. That area of low pressure is actually situated up over Wyoming, South Dakota. The center of low pressure is actually right over South Dakota, Iowa, and Nebraska. So that's going to start working its way down to the southeast, bringing along with it the possibility for severe weather for parts of Texas, eastern Texas, and southeastern Oklahoma, into Arkansas, Louisiana, and eventually Mississippi, and eventually making its way through here, not bringing that severe threat though. And here you can see this is going to be Monday. Tomorrow, this is valid 7 a.m. tomorrow. That front is making its way across into portions of western Oklahoma, Kansas, and really starting to converge with some of that moist air coming in off of the Gulf of Mexico. And we'll look at that on the map here in a little bit to show you how that moisture is being sucked in there. We'll go over some dew points and really show you a really cool dry line. You can see that definite dry line where between that moist air and that dry air, and it's looking to be which could be a pretty intense time moving into the later part of the week for the Texas, Oklahoma area. And here we are, 7 a.m. Tuesday. Rain and thunderstorm chances start to increase for portions of eastern Texas and Oklahoma. We are looking at rain chances here on Tuesday, about a 30% chance, because we have this stationary front just off the coast, which could wrap in some moisture for us. Not going to be a washout by any means, but still have that possibility for some rain showers that could linger in through our area during the day. High pressure is building in behind this front and in between this area of low pressure coming across Texas and that trough. And that's going to bring us some nice weather for Christmas Day. So here we are again. This is just another preview of the fronts map. So this is going to be tomorrow morning. We've got high pressure up here over the northeast, which is building and pushing that northeast air, the northeast winds down into our area, bringing us some of these cooler temperatures right now. You can see that dry line there over Texas that has formed. By this point and that's all part of this trough that's dropping down from Canada and mixing with that dry air and that moist air, which has the potential to bring that severe weather to parts of Texas as we go on. So looking here Monday, no chance of precipitation for us here. As we get into Tuesday, you can see this stationary front just off the coast. They are showing a risk of thunderstorms, parts of Brunswick County, North Carolina, north, Cherry Grove area of South Carolina. You may see the potential for a thunderstorm, and we have that rain chance as well. And you can start to see out here over Texas, Oklahoma, those thunderstorms, the severe thunderstorms are becoming more likely as the week is going on. Here we are into Wednesday, Christmas Day. We are starting to see that trough move and that low pressure system move across the eastern Texas into Louisiana area. And let's back up here a little bit. You can see that high pressure up over Virginia, giving us our beautiful Christmas day. So that stationary front is now moving a little bit further southeast and pulling in some more of that drier air for us for Christmas Day. So Christmas Day is looking to be pretty beautiful for us here along the Grand Strand and North Carolina as well. The mountains of North Carolina looking to have a beautiful day for Christmas. So we are going to enjoy that. Here we are looking out. This is out at Thursday. Now you can see this trough is really starting to bring a lot of precipitation to the portions of eastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma. We are dry here under the influence of high pressure. There is that possibility to see maybe a scattered shower along the coast, but it's very unlikely as we move through the day on Thursday. So that's going to put us back out here. We're going to switch over here and we're going to start talking about some models. I want to kind of show you how this is all kind of starting to take place. So this is today. So these are the surface winds or surface temp and winds coming in off of the Gulf of Mexico. So you can see here, let me transition, sorry. There we go. Now this is, like I said, today. And you can see that those winds coming in off of the Gulf of Mexico. You've got these easterlies or these westerlies coming in. Center of low pressure somewhere up in here, up north. Center of low pressure. You can see my cursor right up here, north of there, sucking a lot of that warm, moist air off of the Gulf of Mexico. As we take a look at, we're going to go into Thursday. And this is the 26th. You can see that center of low pressure has now dropped over parts of Oklahoma, northwest Texas. And really at that point, starting to bring some of that warmer temperatures and converge that dry air with that warm air, warm, moist air, and really start to give us that risk of severe weather at that point. Look at Cape here. We'll switch over to dew points here. So here is where you can see that really defined dry line. Okay, so this is that dry line where the air is very, very dry coming out of the desert. You're going to most likely usually have those westerly winds converging with that southeasterly. So you got these southeasterlies and these westerlies converging along that dry line. This is where you see that potential for that severe weather. As you can see, there will be plenty of Cape here to produce severe thunderstorms at that point. And we'll take a look at this in a different light on the models here on Pivotal Weather. If we get them to reload for me. There we go. So here we are. Let's go out to the 26th. Here you can see Here you can see this trough dipping down. Here's the center of that trough. A lot of wind and not precipitation, but a lot of wind here over parts of you. I try to explain this in a way people can understand, but you see all these lines here. You got a 585, a 558, a 561, 564, 567, 570. You see how they're all a little bit closer together than if you say you come over here and look at them 576, 573. They're all kind of separated over here. That's indicating winds. So you're getting really tight wound winds here, and that's bringing in, that helps mix with that. This is upper level winds. So you're mixing those upper level winds with that moisture and that dry air as well, and that's where you're getting that chance for those severe thunderstorms to develop. And we can kind of take a peek here. Let's look at severe weather. Supercell composite for that day. So we're going to be the 26th. You can see how as we start getting out on the 26th, that supercell composite is going to really start lighting up to where these are where you're going to see the possibility for your supercell thunderstorms. And you can see how it kind of goes through the night hours and back into the day hours. And as we move across through, so it's going to be, a couple days here, the 26th or 26th, the night of the 26th, 27th into about the 29th, where we're going to see that severe weather risk. Like I said, a lot of these models are pretty all over the place here right now. Nothing's really well defined as far as what the severe risk could look like. But we're pretty confident that these parts of Texas, eastern Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, and even down in here to the Gulf or to the coast of Texas, Houston area could see that potential for that severe weather moving in over the next couple of days after that to Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi area as well. Let's take a peek at the surface. Look at this precipitation here. Here we are out on Christmas Day. You can see now that trough's moving through. Here we are, the 27th. You can see that precipitation starting to kind of unfold there, and then eventually moving on the 28th into that Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, relatively quickly. So this will be a couple day event here. Now you can see here, this is the 0-3 run on the 29th. So still looking at a potential for some precipitation. Not sure if that's going to be severe by that point. But if we take a peek at, let's do the dew points. These are upper level dew points. I want to see here. Let's do the dew point at the surface. So here, as we're running through, this is going to show you, I'm going to show you that dry line again. You see that dry line right here. So this is separating dew points of 63 degrees, 66 degrees. And on the other side of that dry line, you're down to the 30s, 20s, even down to 18 out here in western portions. This is that dry line that we're talking about, very, very well-defined dry line here along that front and behind that front. So it's good. We're running that risk for severe weather. I think if we're going to see any severe weather, it's going to be in this portions of northeastern Texas into northwestern Louisiana, and that's going to be the night of the 26th into the 27th, and then eventually into the 29th. You got Louisiana and portions where I think we could see the possibility for some severe weather as well. But we'll look at so I want to look at Cape here real quick. 27th. These are just all ingredients that you need to create supercells. So that's what we're kind of looking at. If I had a way to layer all of this together, you would be able to start seeing where everything is agreeing. So over the next couple days, we're going to be able to start seeing some of that. These things start to agree. Yeah, so I think our risks of severe weather it's going to be over that northeastern Texas into Louisiana, maybe some portions of Oklahoma, and bringing us down to the Gulf Coast of Texas as well. So nothing conclusive here yet on the severe threat. I don't even think, well, they won't go that far out yet. So nothing really, like I said, nothing really conclusive from even the National Weather Service yet. Probability's too low on anything as of yet. So we take a look at the day 2, the categorical outlook here for Texas, Oklahoma, even the eastern portions of South Carolina. Let's look categorical. So we're showing that risk of thunderstorms right along the coast here. And this is going to be Monday into Tuesday. So that's where we're getting that small risk of rain showers as well, just along the coast, as that stationary front's just kind of parked right here off the coast. So, but other than that, really not a whole lot to be concerned about here. I am concerned about these portions of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana as we move through the rest of the week, but we'll keep a close eye on that. If you're traveling to those areas, just stay aware. Stay aware of what's going on with the weather. Keep in touch with the local forecasts out there. Meteorologists, just watch the news, figure out what's going on, and have a way to get weather and receive weather alerts, whether it be your phone or a weather radio. We want to stay alert in those areas as we work through the week past Christmas. But as of right now, like I said, a lot of these models are still kind of rather inconclusive on what exactly the severe weather threat looks like for those days. But I can almost for certain tell you that we have that high chance of that severe weather occurring in those portions of eastern Texas and southeastern Oklahoma as we go through the next couple days after Christmas. So keep a close eye on that as we kind of go through the next week or so. We start talking about the weekly forecast. Monday, 51, sunny. Tuesday, chance of rain, 55. Christmas Day, high of 58, sunny with high pressure building in. Thursday, 58. Excuse me. And then we get into Friday, 62, Saturday, 67. So we see a little bit of a warm up past some of these fronts that are moving and waking their way through, and looking to be overall a relatively decent week for Christmas week leading into New Year. So hopefully, if you guys are traveling, you're having a good time and you're experiencing some nice weather. We'll keep an eye on that Texas and Oklahoma risk as we get a little bit closer here throughout the week. And we hope everybody out here that's listening today and watching today has a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and we'll see you next weekend right here on the Coastal Cast Live for our New Year's edition. To be planning those New Year's festivities, we'll take a deep dive into what the weather is going to look like for the new year and a little bit beyond as far as we can go out. So Merry Christmas to you guys. We hope that you are enjoying your time with your family and you have safe travels, and we'll see you next week right here on the Myrtle Beach Coastal Cast Live.